My son saved for 8 months to buy himself a PlayStation, but when my sister took it and gave it to her kid, I sided with her and told my son to stop being selfish. Now he won't speak to me. My family is exploding, and I'm starting to realize I might have chosen the wrong child. So here it goes. My son Jerry is 14. He's smart, responsible for his age, and for the past 8 months, he's been working literally every spare minute he had to save up for a PlayStation. He did odd jobs for neighbors, he babysat, he mowed lawns, he even sold some old stuff from his room to get to the amount he needed. I'm proud of him, like really proud. He was saving for something he wanted, with his own money, and he worked for it. That's a rare thing, especially at this age, and I was fully on board with it. So anyway, last week he finally buys it. He's super excited, he sets it up, and he's literally glowing the whole evening. I even let him show it to his friends when they came over, which he'd been dying to do. And then my sister, Tammy, who is the kind of person who always seems to have to one-up everyone, shows up, unannounced, like she just walks in, sees the PS5 sitting in the corner of Jerry's room, and suddenly the mood shifts. She starts going on about how Blake deserves things too, and it's not fair that Jerry has this and Blake doesn't, and all this guilt-tripping nonsense. Normally I shut her down, I tell her to chill, but she's relentless. She starts getting all dramatic, talking about family and sharing, and at first I just roll my eyes. I figured she'd leave after a while, except she didn't. I had to step outside to help a neighbor with a minor repair on their fence, literally 5 minutes, and in that window, Tammy goes into Jerry's room, unplugs the PlayStation, and walks out with it just like that. Gone. I came back and I saw her carrying it down the street toward her car. I couldn't believe it. I ran after her, but she just waved and said something about teaching Jerry a lesson. My brain literally stopped working. Jerry comes running behind me crying, screaming, furious. I'm trying to calm him down, and he's yelling that he earned that console, that it's his money, that I need to do something. And here's the part I honestly can't believe I said at the time. I told him, calmly, that he needs to stop being selfish. I said that the PS5 should be shared because it's family, and sometimes you put the needs of others first. I don't even know why I said it. Maybe I was trying to reason with him. Maybe I just didn't want to explode at my sister. I thought I was doing the adult thing, I guess, but it immediately backfired. Jerry stopped talking to me that moment, just silence, not a word. He stormed off to his room, slammed the door, and didn't come out for hours. That night, he barely touched his dinner, barely looked at me, barely moved. I tried apologizing later, but he just shook his head and went back into his room. The next morning, same thing. I tried talking to him, but he ignored me completely. It's been a week now, and he hasn't said a single word to me. He barely even acknowledges I exist. Meanwhile, my parents got involved. My mom called me saying I needed to protect my son and not let Tammy take advantage. My dad was livid. They both made it clear they think I chose my sister over my kid. And it's hard to argue with that because, looking back, it's kind of true I did. I let her take his PlayStation. I sided with her. And it gets worse. Tammy called me later, threatening to call CPS and saying I screamed at her, which I didn't. She was literally weaponizing the situation, trying to make me the bad guy. She knows my parents are already upset with me and that Jerry is furious. She's clearly trying to manipulate everyone and make me look like a monster, and I don't even know how to respond. Then, last night, Jerry packed a bag and went to my parents' house. My own kid literally left because I didn't side with him. And honestly, I don't know if I did the right thing. I wanted to teach him about generosity. I wanted to teach him about family. But now he's gone. My parents are furious. My sister is smugly taking advantage of the chaos she created, and I feel like I've completely failed as a father. I don't even know what to do now. I can't just go grab him from my parents' house. They're on his side and wouldn't let me. I can't yell at my sister without risking CPS involvement or further alienating Jerry. And my parents, I can't even look at them without feeling like they're judging me. So Reddit Aida here. Am I the asshole for telling my son to stop being selfish and siding with my sister? Or am I just completely out of my mind for thinking family should come first over a kid's hard-earned purchase? I honestly thought I was doing the right thing. Now I feel like I might have chosen the wrong child. Update 1. Jerry isn't speaking to me at all. He's holed up at my parents' house, and for the first time in years, I feel completely outmaneuvered. I thought I was making a call that was for the greater good, teaching generosity or family values or whatever, but it turns out I completely misjudged how this would land, and the comments on my original post were relentless in this fact. So I went over to my parents to try and talk to Jerry, to get him to come home. I was not planning on yelling, I just wanted him to hear me out. But the moment I got there, I realized it wasn't going to be that simple. Jerry didn't even open the door. He had locked himself in his room, phone in hand, headphones on, lights off, and then my dad, out of nowhere, steps in front of the door and blocks me. He didn't say much at first, just kind of calmly told me to back off. I tried to explain I wasn't going to do anything rash, just needed to talk, but he wasn't budging. That's when my parents started unloading things I never expected. Turns out Jerry has been holding on to this resentment for years. Apparently, years ago, he overheard Tammy making these comments about me, saying I was a failure as a father, a selfish guy who would never do the right thing for anyone. I honestly had no idea Jerry knew that, let alone remembered it, and he's been protective of me in his own way, quietly, but also harboring this anger at Tammy for as long as he can remember. So apparently, this whole PS5 thing wasn't just a kid being spoiled or petty, it was a final straw. It hit me hard. For the first time, I actually started questioning whether I made the right call. I mean, I still think what I did was logical in the moment, family first, generosity, but seeing him completely shut down like this, it made me realize I might have misread just how deep this ran. So, after stewing for a few hours, I decided I needed to confront Tammy directly. I went over to her place to get the PS5 back. I expected her to maybe backpedal, maybe return it quietly once she realized the situation was spinning out of control. Nope, not even close. I walk in and there's Blake, playing the PS5. Not just playing, he's logged into Jerry's account, which means Tammy went in, found the login, and set him up. I was floored. I didn't know whether to be more shocked that she actually did this, or that I was somehow supposed to stay calm about it, and then she sees me and just smirks, all casual, like this is normal. She says something along the lines of, "A real dad wouldn't pick a console over his family." I didn't even know where to start, and then she drops the real bombshell. She brings up this 20,000 Rand I allegedly owe her from years ago, from when I was almost evicted. I've always planned to pay her back quietly, in small installments, but apparently she's been holding on to this like a weapon. She basically tells me that if I push too hard to get the PS5 back, she's gonna make a scene, collect it in public, and humiliate me. At that moment, I realized she wasn't just taking the PS5, she was weaponizing the past against me. I left in shock. I still can't believe she would do that. I feel like I'm being cornered at every turn. I leave, and suddenly it feels like the entire family is against me. My brother texts me, siding with Tammy. My parents are siding with Jerry, which makes sense from their perspective but still feels like a punch to the gut. Cousins are messaging me, asking why I'm stealing from a child. Update 2. After my last post, I was starting to realize maybe the PS5 thing wasn't just a dumb family squabble. Something bigger was going on, and it's only gotten messier. After 2 days of sulking and trying not to answer calls, I decided I needed to figure out what the hell Tammy was doing. I started asking around quietly, just little questions to neighbors, family friends, and even a few of her co-workers I knew from casual encounters. What I found out made my blood run cold. Tammy has been involved with some shady guy for months, apparently someone who flips electronics and buys stolen tech. At first, I didn't believe it, but it started making sense. The PS5 wasn't going to Blake. It was never for Blake. Tammy owed this guy money. She was going to use the PS5 to cover her debt. My kid, Jerry, had worked 8 months, saved every cent, and this idiot stole it for some sketchy side hustle. And me? I had been defending her the entire time, telling Jerry to stop being selfish and acting like she was the victim god. I hate myself for that, so I went to confront Tammy. I wasn't going to scream, I wanted answers. I walked into her living room, I asked where the PS5 was. And Tammy, without missing a beat, looks at me like she's proud of herself and says, "I told you, it's gone." I pressed her, and finally, after the tiniest bit of hesitation, she admits it. She didn't take it for Blake. She took it to sell, she didn't even tell him. She lied. And then she said something that still makes me sick. If I exposed her, she'd tell Jerry that I let her walk all over him. She knows my biggest fear, that my kid will hate me, and she weaponized it. She looked me dead in the eyes and told me I always pick the easy route, that I'd rather smooth over problems than stand up to people who manipulate me. She made it personal, like this was my fault because I didn't see through her sooner. I left. I couldn't stay. I walked straight over to my parents' house. Jerry was in his room, door locked, headphones on, and I just sat in the kitchen, trying to figure out how to even start explaining what just happened. Eventually, I knocked on his door and tried to tell him the truth about Tammy, about the old debt she was using to manipulate me, and how ashamed I was for siding with her instead of him. I thought maybe he'd finally talk to me. He didn't. Not a word. Not a glance. Just silence. Then my parents called Tammy. They demanded she return the PS5 immediately, and in a move I still can't wrap my head around, she actually did. She brought it back herself, only it wasn't a PS5 anymore. It was a ruin. Smashed, broken wires, shell-cracked, completely unplayable. Jerry walked into the living room and saw it, and for the first time in 2 weeks, he looked at me, shook his head, and walked off. Update 3. So first, a little recap for anyone who missed it or doesn't want to go back. Jerry's PS5 was destroyed after Tammy returned it under pressure from my parents. At that point, I was already feeling guilty, frustrated, and like an idiot for siding with her in the first place. Jerry was angry, upset, and refusing to speak to me at all. The PS5 was supposed to be his hard-earned reward after working for 8 months, and it got smashed because I didn't protect him properly. I was angry, ashamed, and honestly scared for what would happen next. Then, the unexpected happened. I got a call from my dad. He sounded panicked and kind of urgent. He said there was more to the PS5 than I realized. Apparently, Tammy's boyfriend had shown up after she confessed to him about taking the console. He was furious, yelling, and smashing the PS5 himself. That's right, the PS5 wasn't destroyed by some random lesson in generosity. It was straight up violence from someone else. And this is where the story gets messy, because while I was trying to piece together the timeline, I started asking questions that I should have asked months ago. I called Tammy directly, not to fight, just to get some clarity. Big mistake. The truth that came out almost made me collapse. Tammy never owed her boyfriend money, not a cent. She has been flipping stolen electronics for months, small items first, family stuff, nothing huge enough to get her caught until now. I literally could not believe it. The PS5 was the first time I realized the scale of what she's been doing. She had been taking things from multiple family members, hiding them, pawning them, selling them online, stuff no one ever noticed because they were small, replaceable things. But the PS5? That was big. It was valuable, recognizable, and she needed to move fast. I also found out that she tried to steal Jerry's laptop weeks ago and got caught before anything happened. I hadn't known about that because she had been lying so consistently. Even to me, I started thinking about all the little favors she'd asked over the years, borrowing cash, covering a bill for me, helping me out when I was busy, and I realized she'd been manipulating me for a long time without me ever seeing it. And just when I thought I had the full picture, my parents dropped another bomb. They said she had tried to take out a loan in my name using my documents. She had photographed papers while visiting, planned to forge signatures, and basically commit identity fraud on her own nephew. At that moment, something inside me went completely cold. I felt frozen, like I'd been blind to how dangerous she had been all along. So, yeah, I cut her off immediately. No explanations, no calls back, nothing. She started blowing up my phone with voice notes, angry, screaming, calling me a traitor, calling me selfish, but I didn't respond. My brother, who had been hesitant before, finally stepped in and said he had always suspected Tammy was shady. He's now on my side fully. My parents are encouraging me to press charges because the PS5 isn't even the worst of it. The attempted identity fraud? That's huge. Jerry is still not home. He's angry, hurt, and wary. He said he doesn't feel safe emotionally, which I get. I'm devastated, but I know pushing him would just push him further away. For the first time in years, I realized I can't just sweep this under the rug or try to teach a lesson. This is bigger than all of that. And then the police showed up. Yes, at my door. Not for Jerry or the PS5, but for missing electronics and a report of identity theft. And somehow, Tammy had spun it to make it look like I had helped her move stolen items. I kid you not. Someone actually claimed I was complicit in her thefts. I had to explain everything to officers, provide timestamps, and prove I had no idea about her illegal activity. It was exhausting, humiliating, and terrifying. I feel like a complete fool for siding with her in the first place. I let my son suffer because I thought protecting my sister and family peace was more important. Now I realize I chose wrong, and it almost cost Jerry more than just a PS5. It cost him trust in me. So update 3 ends here with me literally reeling. The PS5 is gone. Tammy's manipulations are fully exposed. Jerry and I are in a fragile place. The police are involved. and I'm realizing that this is just the start of untangling the mess Tammy created. I have no idea how this will fully play out legally. Final update. I can't believe I'm even typing this, but here it goes. Buckle up because everything that's been unfolding over the last month has been insane, and I finally see the full picture. I still can't believe it. After everything, the PS5, the laptop she tried to swipe weeks before, the stuff she pawned from my late wife's things, it all comes back to this. Tammy is a serial thief. The PS5 wasn't for Blake. Blake didn't even know it was taken from Jerry. It was for her to pay off. No, not a debt she owed, but to flip. She has been doing this for years. Small stuff at first, things nobody noticed. Then bigger stuff once she realized she could get away with it. The PS5 was just the first big, obvious thing. The kicker? She did it specifically because Jerry bought it with his own money. She wanted to teach him a lesson, a life lesson apparently, about how hard work doesn't always get rewarded, because of course that's a totally normal thought process for an adult. So the police took Tammy. She's facing fraud, theft, attempted identity fraud, and destruction of property. Honestly, I don't know what her endgame was. Control, I guess. She wanted me trapped in this I owe her forever loop, making sure I'd never choose Jerry over her, which, apparently, I did now. Jerry came back home. It's not perfect, it's far from it. He's cautious, hasn't completely forgiven me, and I get it. I still feel the sting of losing 2 weeks of his trust, but he's home. We talk, sometimes just small things. I let him set the pace, because I can't force forgiveness, and I don't want to screw this up again. Blake is temporarily staying with my parents because child services got involved. He's safe, but confused. The last time I saw him, he was sitting on the couch, quietly playing on the Xbox Tammy bought him months ago, and giving me side eyes like, "My mom is insane, right? Yeah, kid. You're starting to understand it." And me? I'm cleaning up. Not just the house, though that's a mess, but the family fallout. My brother has officially gone no contact with Tammy. My parents have disowned her. Cousins are trying to act normal, but it's awkward as hell. Everyone is fractured, and I can't fix it. Not fully. The PS5? Replaced. Brand new. Jerry is back to playing. Not like before, though. I don't blame him. I'm doing everything I can to earn back the years lost, to earn back trust, one small step at a time.